Summer is winding down, soon pumpkin lattes will be everywhere, and our thoughts will turn towards the holiday season. Are local businesses looking forward to the holiday season? We'll find out in this episode.
Welcome to Corey's Local Marketing Minute, an enlightening and entertaining look at what's happening in the world of local marketing. Corey's Local Marketing Minute is brought to you by Adcelerant, technology and marketing that make the complex simple. Focused on generating results and growth for businesses of all sizes, Adcelerant offers best-in-class technology and software, award-winning customer service, expert education, and exceptional operational support to ensure campaign performance for customers. Learn more at adcelerant.com or book a demo by emailing info@adcelerant.com. And now, the shaman of local marketing, Corey Elliott.
Heidi-ho, y'all! Fall is here! Man, if you step outside, you feel that crisp air. No, you don't. So in this episode, we want to talk about how local advertisers are looking forward to the holiday season. But first, you know what to do if you haven't already. Subscribe. I think I got it right. Like these videos. Comment on these videos. I will reply. That might not be an incentive. Anyway, we just closed our latest Borrell Business Barometer. If you're not familiar, it's a series of questions that we ask our SMB panel about every 3 months to gauge where their head's at. We ask them about the past, the present, and the future. And, of course, how they think that's going to impact their marketing. So, yeah, this one. What I want to show you today is August responses year over year. There is something to be gleaned. Okay, the first thing I want to go over is how the panel felt about the last 6 months. And the question was basically, has it gotten harder or easier to maintain a small business in this current economic situation? I'm going to give you the percentages who say it's harder and the percentages who say it's easier in August of all these years. Way back in 2018, COVID? What's COVID? 34% said it's gotten harder, 24% said easier. A third and a quarter, sorta. Okay, what about August of 2019? Wow, my voice did a weird thing there. Still, pre-COVID. 35%, 17%. Similar, a little less saying it's getting easier. Then we slide into 2020. What do you think this number is? First, let me give you the easier. 3%. How many said harder? 89%. In August of 21, 57-18, very similar to 2019, but still not as good as 2018-19 here. So now this year, 61% say it's gotten harder, 9% say it's gotten easier. So, still a lot more than pre-pandemic saying it's harder now, not as bad as 2020, and not a whole lot of people saying it's been easier. And remember, this is about running a business, considering the economic conditions, everything else that's going on. Was it easier or harder than 6 months ago? So, let's look forward. Man, that was some precision erasing. We asked during the next 6 months, economic conditions for sustaining a small business in the US will get worse or get better. I'll fill in these two right away. Okay, here's our pre-pandemic years. Percentage who said it was going to get worse, 29, grew to 37. Went from 26 saying it's going to get better to 11% saying it's going to get better. Remember, we didn't have any pandemic yet. Then there's 2020. 30% said worse, 21% said better. Look at the optimism. I'm not being facetious, seriously. August of 2020, you had 1 out of 5 local businesses saying, hey, the next 6 months it's going to get better. And about the same as you had in 2018 saying it's going to get worse. So what happens in these 2 years? Well, here you go. About 40-41% each year, 14-12. Really similar these 2 years. Anyway, what about their marketing spend? Are they going to spend more or less than they did over the past 6 months? Now remember, we're always looking at August in these years because honestly, the answers fluctuate throughout the year because you're asking them to look at different sets of 6 months. Always August. Keeping up? Over the next 6 months, my business will spend more or less on advertising and marketing than did the previous 6 months. So let's go back to these heady times. Here you go, really similar. Remember, they're looking at the holiday season coming up. Around 14-15% said they'd spend less, while about a third of them said they're going to spend more. So what about August of 2020? Big old pullback going into the holiday season. 27% said they're going to spend less. And a drop off here, 20% said they're going to spend more. So 2021, 19% less, 23% more. And 2022, here we are. 16% less, so back to 18-19 levels, but only 16% said more, the lowest that number's been in 5 years. So, what can we take away from this? So remember, their outlook for the next 6 months is very similar to what it was in 2021. Maybe not as rosy and optimistic as 2020, but then again, 2020 was a screwy year, right? But we see a lot less saying they're going to spend more. And if this is true, if there is a retrenching, that always gives somebody an opportunity to dominate. the share of voice can be much greater for one of those businesses that chooses to go all in. Because remember, the economic outlook was really similar to last year. And from what we can tell, sure, inflation could play a part of it, but spending patterns haven't really changed all that much. Sure, we gripe about gas prices, but people are still spending money. We did an episode a little while ago about how retail sales are going nuts year over year. You can't say it's all inflation. And truth be known, we don't know why they answered this way. How many of them are affected by political climates, or not finding the right people, or the job market, or real estate? This kind of drop-off of people who say they're going to spend more gives an opportunity for somebody to spend more. Does that make sense? It does up here.
You've been watching Corey's Local Marketing Minute, sponsored by our friends at AdCellerant. Learn more at adcellerant.com. Remember, if you'd like to hear more of Corey's insights, check out the Local Marketing Trends podcast. Just Google Borrell Podcast or look for the podcast link on BorrellAssociates.com.